Each night, millions of Americans worry about where they will sleep and where their next meal will come from. Homelessness is not a new problem in this country, and for many it brings to mind images of drug addicts, runaways, and veterans. But this current economic crisis has created a new population of homeless. Hundreds of thousands of families who were living the American dream have fallen into an American nightmare. My name is Lindsay Rousseau Burnett, and in this documentary, I will be talking with just a few of the families who have been hit hard by this economic recession. They have become part of a growing population of middle-class homeless. Mary and Jeff, if you could just briefly describe for me, what type of work you guys do and how things have been going lately.
Okay. Well, we're in the restaurant business, and we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of the business.
Yeah, we got into the restaurant business because friends of ours inspired us to own a restaurant, and they inspired us to get into that. And it's kind of been a lifelong dream of ours too. But with the current downturn and the recession, it's been, business hasn't been quite as good as we thought, and everything's, with the mortgage and the rent on the restaurant and, everything, it's been kind of a pressure cooker that, it's been tough to keep up, and so we're falling far behind where we need to be.
I've had a personnel agency for 17 years now. We specialize in part-time and temporary workers, and it was going really well until a few years ago.
Well, I own an Italian bistro, and I've had it for about 7 years now, and it's been really hard trying to just keep the doors open of my restaurant and working long hours and everything, and he's lost his job, so.
What was it you used to do?
I used to be a social worker for the county, and there's just been a lot of cutbacks with the governor and the state, and so I got a pink slip.
Well, I was with the firm for 11 years. I was a partner, and typically when the economy goes down, lawsuit filings go up. Well, in this last economic downturn, that didn't happen. There were less lawsuits filed, and I defend people who get sued, and these plaintiffs' attorneys were not taking a lot of these cases because typically the plaintiff's attorney fronts all the cost, filing fees and what have you. They're just not doing that because they don't have the money and they don't want to take the risk. So when lawsuit filings go down, business goes down, and unfortunately I had to leave back about 6 months ago.
So what are your plans should you in fact lose the home?
Well, our plans are to move in with my mother, and wasn't the original plan. Our original plan was to have her move in with us in our home. So it's going to be a lot of changes if it really comes down to that.
That's a hard question because Jerry's mom only has a 1-bedroom apartment, and my parents are overseas, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll probably give the furniture, put the furniture in some kind of storage and then move in with friends for a while. But a family of 3, it's kind of hard for anybody to take in. So I don't know.
We've talked with his mother, and we're actually gonna have to move in with Nana. So we're just gonna try to stay in the house as long as we can until we have to make that horrible move. So.
And it's hard when you have your own space, and the kids are used to a certain level of space. They all have their own rooms. They have friends in the neighborhood. We might have to switch schools. So this is a kind of a big deal. The kids' iPhones and all that stuff might have to go back. So that's going to be a big arrangement for them.
Jordan, as a teenager, I imagine this has to be really hard for you. You probably had to switch schools, and I just remember being a teenager, having to live in 1 bedroom with both of my parents. It has to be pretty crazy at sometimes.
It's definitely a new experience, and you're like an emotional wreck, kind of, because one minute you're mad, like, how could this happen to our family? And then the next minute, it's kind of gives you a new perspective on what to be grateful for.
So, what do you guys have planned for the future? What do you plan for next?
Well, I've been working some small projects. The good thing about being a lawyer for many years is that you know everybody and you establish good working relationships. So, and a lot of other lawyers are in my position as well. So you seek out people that you know and that you've worked with, and they might have some projects for you, some small things to do on a contract or hourly basis. And I've been doing as much of that as possible.
How are things going at school? Is this made things hard with your friends, with your teachers?
My friends, they're sad for me because I won't be able to hang out with them. But I'm trying to keep my grades up, so at least if I go to a new school, maybe they'll know my reputation there and maybe I'll get in a good class, but it'll be still sad leaving all my friends that I've been with forever.
Jaylene, is this scary? I mean, this seems like a big change, moving in with your Nana and changing schools?
Yeah, it's really scary because I really want to move, leave all my friends, and lose some of my prized possessions. And I don't want, because my dad and my mom might be stressed and might start to fight a lot because of all the stress that they're going through from losing their house.
We're trying to stay positive and use this as a more of a learning experience for for Jordan. Is that she mentioned college and go to college, even if you have to go to a small community college, get an education, because it's tough being a lawyer. I'm unemployed now, so just imagine how it is when you have a high school degree. So even if you have to go part-time, mom and dad will make it work for you. But
We're gonna make sure you get to
absolutely.
college.
But yes, you need to go to college, and then work from there. So yeah.
I think this is where the government can come in to help, is to help people in our kind of situation at least temporarily get by until the economy gets better. Because if you're having whatever the percentage is now, 10% of the people losing their homes, that's just, bad for the entire country.
Well, I mean, just being a taxpayer and being a person who's taking care of his family all this long, it's just really hard for me, because here I have these faces and these people that I'm responsible for, and I've done everything that I'm supposed to do, and yet I see the government bailing out banks and doing these things, and to me it seems adverse because that's the reverse situation. You should be bailing out the people who are paying the taxes, the people who are taking care of their families. I mean, what about us? What are we supposed to do? And as a man, it hurts. So I can almost understand why people want to occupy things. People don't want to pay tax. People don't. I mean, what are you supposed to do? So we do need some programs, and I'm just hoping like our president is able to enact some stuff through Congress, or that some of the, and I would tell people to write their senators and congressmen and their local representatives to be the heart and ears and eyes of the community and let these folks know what's going on, because even though we have a certain amount of money, it's like we don't qualify for other things. So even though we have money to do X, Y, and Z, we don't get free lunch. So all of that is an expense for us. So if there's a daycare, if there's anything, how are the people in the middle gonna be helped? I mean, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
No matter what you go through as a family, you have to stay together and keep the unit together, because when I'm outside and sometimes I don't feel like crap because of what's going on or my situation, now my wife's business is taking care of us, that hurts me as a man. That makes me feel like I'm less than at times. But when I get home, these kids could care less what happened. They see dad and they love me. And you got to keep that unit together. Okay?